Audiobooks offer you the flexibility and the opportunity to consume more books, and this is why I love listening to audiobooks, and I always include audiobooks in my reading schedule. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about 9 audiobooks that I have enjoyed very much. So without further ado, let's get started. Hi there, I am Manpreet. I make book related videos on this channel. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe, follow me on my social media and hit the bell button so that you get notified every time I post a new video. One of the most commonly asked questions to me about audiobooks is that which app do you use? I use both Storytel and Audible. Now I have a yearly subscription of Storytel and Audible monthly subscription. I keep taking it from time to time. I do have an active subscription right now. I'm collecting the credits so that I can buy a bunch of books together, and that is basically the difference between both the apps. Storytel is more like a library like subscription, whereas Audible you get to keep the books for a longer period. Both of these apps have their originals, so in case you want to catch those originals, you'll have to get the individual subscriptions of both the apps. But here's the thing, if you're not a major audiobook listener and you just listen to a couple of books every once in a while, then I would recommend you Storytel app because that is cheaper. But if you want to keep the book for a longer period of time, Audible. Anyway, this is a very lengthy conversation. Let's talk about the number 1 book, which is Claw, a Canadian thriller. This book is about this prehistoric monster that is out loose in the city of Lawless, British Columbia. And this is a very nice thriller. One of the things I loved about this particular book as an audiobook is that it is very easy to follow. It has so much of thrill factor and a little bit of gore as well. And it's just a thriller that I enjoyed a lot. I just put it on and I was like, oh my god, I'm instantly into this book, and I listened to the whole thing. Currently, I'm actually listening to the sequel of Claw, a Canadian thriller. Now, I would say it is not as impressive as the first book, but this first book in whole is actually pretty good, so you must check it out. Number 2 book is The Strange Death of Anindya Sundar by Anish Deb. Now, this is actually a Storytel original, that is, it's available only on Storytel. This is a celebrity narrated book. Rahul Bose has narrated this 1 hour long story approximately, and this is about this guy who is dead and now is in heaven. And there he's like, oh my god, I'm very unhappy. I don't even know who murdered me, who killed me, how I got killed and all of that stuff. So he sort of like pleads his case over there, and then he gets this chance to get back and relive that last few hours of his so that he can find out who killed him or how he was murdered, or if he was not murdered. It's super simple and very short, but actually something that I really enjoyed listening to on Storytel. Number 3 is Learn French Level 1 and Introduction by FrenchPod101.com. Now if you're somebody who is learning French language, their channel, YouTube channel or their website is something you're sure to come across. It's very popular website and a YouTube channel that teaches you French. Alright, so they have put together a bunch of audio lessons, and these are available on Storytel at least. I haven't checked on Audible. There are I think 11 levels of these particular audiobooks that are available, and I listened to the first one. I do plan to listen to the rest of them as well. I found them very educational, and the different thing about these is that these are actually like 2 people are sitting and they are having a conversation about French language, and that is how you're learning about French and French. Alright, and I found it very interactive. I found it very entertaining. So it was not just like I'm listening to something educational. It was more like I was enjoying the whole audiobook a lot. So yes, this is the book number 3. Number 4 is The 21 Success Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires by Brian Tracy, narrated by also Brian Tracy. Now Brian Tracy is one of the most popular self-help and business gurus. On Storytel itself, you can find a lot of content, a lot of books, audio programs by Brian Tracy that you can listen to. So if you are in love with Brian Tracy, I think you have a lot of content on Storytel available, and I do plan to listen to all of it because Brian Tracy is just that kind of author you want to listen to. His books are really good as self-help books. Number 5 book is something that I listened to recently, that is The 10x Rule by Grant Cardone. Now Grant Cardone is also a very popular business and sales coach, and this book is all about how you can 10x your performance at work and at life. I found it very motivational. The energy that Grant Cardone brings into his audiobook, that is amazing. Now I am actually comparing Brian Tracy and Grant Cardone only because I listened to both of these books back to back and I have put these together into this list. But I feel like their energies are very different. Brian Tracy is somebody, you listen to him, you listen to his content. It is also soothing and motivational at the same time. Whereas Grant Cardone, I feel like he puts in energy into his content. It's so much of energy that it just rubs off on you, and obviously it's motivational for sure. I found it very, very motivational. I mean, if you have been watching my videos or following my content since like last 2-3 months, I'm always using this 10x word all the time on my LinkedIn, on my Twitter, on my YouTube videos. It's the Grant Cardone effect. Anyway, number 6. It is my favorite. If you're thinking of starting with audiobooks, you're not sure where to get started with, this is what you need. Harry Potter series narrated by Stephen Fry. Now we all know Harry Potter books are amazing. There is no question about it. But Stephen Fry as a narrator, he just takes these books to another level of epicness. These are so good, these are so amazing, and you will just get into these books because of the narration. I'm not even judging the content of the book or talking about it. Just the narration of these audiobooks, it just makes such a great listening experience actually. So I definitely recommend you to check these out. And also there is Lord of the Rings series, which I found on Storytel, and the reason why I am collecting the credits on Audible is because I want to buy the whole series. And my husband tells me this Lord of the Rings series, it's also very good. I have listened to a couple of hours of Lord of the Rings series, and my husband is a huge fan anyhow. And he tells me this is narrated by the guy who plays Gollum in the movies, and he loved the narration. Even I feel like, I have tried reading Lord of the Rings so many times. I've always failed. So I think I must now just decide that I'm going to listen to the audiobook. But that is a decision I have to make. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the number 7 book now. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Again, a very popular business coach, a very popular success coach, and this book, it is all about how you can, communicate with people better, how you can make an impact on people, and how you can just build connections. And this book is so good. I have always been recommending it. I think it always features in almost all of my self-help recommendation videos. This is that good of a book, and I listen to it on Audible. I do have the book, and I do plan to re-listen to it again and again. Number 8 is The Ultimate Brian Tracy Library by Brian Tracy, narrated by Brian Tracy as well. I actually listened to this whole thing on Audible, and this is about 23 hours long content. That is sort of like a compilation of some parts of Brian Tracy's programs. So this is content on personal development, goal setting, succeeding in your career, creative thinking, developing your personal and professional relationships, and so on. 23 hours of content, and I didn't even have to try to listen to it because I was just listening to it. I found it so good. Anyway, number 9 is Atomic Habits by James Clear, one of the most recommended books out there on habit making, on self-help, personal development, and this is something that you must check out. And I listened to it, and I feel like it is really good if you just decide to act on the advice you actually listen to from this book. Anyway, yes, these are all the audiobooks that I really loved listening to. I have tried more audiobooks, but some are the ones that I have not finished yet. For example, The Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy, narrated by Stephen Fry. And then there are some that were just underwhelming. For example, The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, and Cracking the Code by Ayushmann Khurrana and Tahira Kashyap. And then there are some that, just did not leave a lasting impression on me. For example, Dream with Your Eyes Open by Ronnie Screwvala and Austin Kleon's books like Show Your Work, Still Like an Artist. I have listened to these, but these just did not make an impact on me, that much of an impact on me, even though they were good. These 3 actually. But yes, I gave you my 9 favorite audiobooks that, I feel like are not only good books, but are also good audiobooks because of the narrator or because of just how they pan out when they are converted into audiobook format. And yes, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. It gave you some book recommendations that you want to check out for yourself, and if it did, please make sure you hit a thumbs up and comment down below with a yes in caps lock. Okay, thank you so much for watching. This is Manpreet signing off. I'll be back with another video very soon.